Okay guys, so we have another challenging project, the Eames dining chair. And again, I'm not looking for perfection. I'm just trying to get you guys to be close. So let's get at it. So we're going to bring in all of our assets because we're going to trace from given image files. So this is probably the most important one. I'm going to put it on the front here. Go back to picture, and the back's going to be on this side, so I'm going to put it on the right side. And now we have to try to scale it. So let's bring this up here. And this chair is roughly 26.5 inches tall. So let's scale. No snap. Here. Alright, and then the base is about 24. So which means, I think, let's say, I guess from here to like roughly here, it's going to be like 24. So let's scale it. Again, we're not looking for complete accuracy. We're just using this as a guide. So this is 24.25. Okay, it's pretty close. That's good. And this thing was, again, the height was 26.5. So we'll scale this. Alright, so we have kind of the left, right, and it's not really perfect here. The chair hanging down, so let's see this guy up the middle here. So I'm just kind of setting up a view from three perspective, and then we're going to try to match with our curves. So let's go to the front here, and let's just work on the seat base here. And because we're going to have lots of lines and things like that, let's make sure that we're using our layers. Let's just go ahead and lock. Let's go to layer 1, which will be all of our curves. We'll lock the trace layer, and all the lines will be red, so that's perfect. So we're going to go to this control curve, and this is kind of like the middle of the seat here. We're going to give it a nice little radius here. Come to the top. And then let's do another control curve. We're going to trim the radius of this, so I'm going to start my control curve way out here. And you know what? It's always good to overshoot your surfaces a little bit so that you have room to trim. Like taking this line further, and I'm also going to take this line further out. So I have those two lines. That represents that top of the chair. Let me see. So this is the outside line. I'm going to take that and shoot it off to the outside here. And I'm going to mirror that line using my 0. So basically I have 3 control curves that are going to control my surface, and I'm going to shoot it over the chair base. So now let's go to the top view here. Oh, now let's stay here, perspective, and let's create our surface first. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go to Surface Tool. We're going to go to Loft, and we're going to loft the surface from here to here to here. Oops. So here's our kind of our chair surface, and then we're going to trim. Seems like I should have made that a little bit longer. So it seems like this base chair is a little bit out of scale, so I'm just going to first trace it and I'll scale it down. Again, I should actually have a nice center point line that I could use as a reference. I'm going to go both sides so that it just shoots all the way across. So I have a midpoint. Go to my curve. I'm going to shoot over it, and then 3 points to keep it tangent, and then my control points. So I shot that over, which then I can go and trim using this edge. Trim that off so that's perfectly mirrored. When I mirror this guy, join them. Then I'm going to scale it because it seems like this image is a little bit too big. I'm going to scale it to fit my curve. So here's my drawing right there, and then here's my seat with my surfaces shooting over. The trim, cutting object is this guy. Object to trim would be this. It'll be this surface. I did it. The top has been trimmed. So now I have kind of like a chair. Oh, wait a minute. When I did my loft, it actually did not bend the middle of the chair down as far as I needed to. So, which is fine. Again, I'm going to go to Zoom, Z, Enter, S, Enter, so I can rotate around it. And this is where I'm going to start teaching you some surface tools. So we're going to take this surface and we're going to rebuild it. So we're going to go here and we're going to type rebuild. And we select this curve. And it's telling me that in the U direction, meaning one direction, there's 5 control points. In the other direction, there's 5. And degree 3 curve is a tangent curve, so that's what you want. So I'm going to take 5. Well, actually, you know what? I want an even number. I'll tell you why. And we're going to do that. So if I turn this off for a sec. So if I have this chair selected and hit F10, it gives me these control points. And actually, these points are too far apart, so I'm going to rebuild again. And I want, and then now if I turn on F10, I could actually take these 2 points only and push it down, which actually bends that chair back down. And so just make sure that if you're editing something, that because now we already have it symmetrical, that if you're going to move this point, that you also move that point along with it. Shift, so whatever fine surface tuning that you want to do. But I think that surface looks pretty good. So I'm good with that. And so that's like the basis of the chair there. Let's turn on and let's do the back. I think the back I'm just gonna freehand it because I don't really have a good example here. Okay, I'm going to just make a big old arc, but as I get to the center, I'm going to start controlling. So these three dots are in the same line, or maybe even the fourth one that shoots across, so that when I trim this and mirror it, that's a continuous curve. Super important. And some of you guys may not know what this chair really looks like in quote-unquote real life, so I don't mind if you kind of make up the difference, if you will. But let's just eyeball this thing and just get it looking like what it should look like. Again, you remember I told you guys are gonna like make a lot of mistakes by snapping to 3D, and I also do that all the time. So again, set point, which is a really important tool. This time I'm going to set it to my Z because I want it flat. So here it is now. So I have kind of like the back happening here. So let's go, and I'm just going to do it up here. Alt. I'm going to make a copy. Shoot this one forward a little bit, to give this angle right here. And it actually curls back out, I noticed here. So we're going to do that during the rebuild. So for now, we're going to just create a surface here. Again, we're going to do a loft. I'm not really digging that, but I think I can fix that later. So we're going to rebuild. Too many points. Okay, take that. F10. So yeah, I straightened it out a little bit when I did the rebuild. And let's see. So let's just take these two guys, or maybe just all of the top guys here, and push it back to create that little lip. Yeah. And then take all of these guys, push it back, create that little lip. Yeah, that's a pretty beautiful surface there. Okay. And then let's go to the back here. We'll bring this down lower. Oh. I'm going to reduce this thing a little bit because we spent all that time creating that little cool little lip, and I don't want to have to redo that. So I'm just going to match it to the top here. In general though, because we are going to trim surfaces, it's a good habit to actually shoot over a little bit. So let's do that. I'm going to draw another line from 0, 0, enter. I'm going to go both sides, so I just get one long line right up the middle, because now I'm going to try to create this shape here. Hopefully you guys will have success doing this. I'm going to just shoot over it a little bit because it was snapping to something crazy. Hold down shift, another shift, just to control that arc to be straight. Shift, shift, and shift, enter. We're going to trim these guys off. And let's actually adjust the curve of this, because that was pretty bad tracing on my part. Yeah, I see that looks pretty good. We're going to mirror. This guy to there. Select this guy and that guy and join them. Now we have to find our surface wherever we have it. Okay, we have it here. Let's turn this off for a second. So here's my crazy shape. Again, is it? Yeah, that's the shape that I drew. Again, because it was snapping all over the place, but actually it doesn't matter because I'm going to trim it straight across. So I'm not going to bother doing a set point in this case. Cutting object is going to be this guy. Select object to trim, it'll be that guy. There you go. So that's looking pretty good. This one's looking pretty gnarly, so I'm just going to delete it. But so I have this chair. There's a slight radius in the back. That's looking good. Let me turn it on inside view here. Kind of place it in the right location. It seems like the original chair is a lot more curved, like it really hugs around the side. So let's do that. Yeah. So this, we're going to click on that and we're going to say rebuild. We'll take the 6 and 6. That's fine. So F10. So here's my control points. So I'm going to select. Actually, let me see how much I have to pull. Just these guys. Cool. Yep. Looking good. We'll take it. Turn this back on. Yep, not bad. We'll take that. We'll take that. And then let's do this little base here. That's the center spine. Shift there. Shift. Make that turn. At the corner. Okay. Again, let me turn this off so I can see where's my, so here's my guy right there, and I'm right in the middle, which is good. Back here, and then we're going to do an offset because we're going to just make it a solid. So offset. In this case, we're going to cap it flat, and let's give it about 3/4 of an inch. 3/4 is too big. Again, we're going to go to distance. Let's go 1/2 inch. That's good. So then now I have a full 3-dimensional object there, and it's in the center. So I'm going to extrude both sides. Extrude curve, both sides. Come here, and I know these things are kind of wide, maybe about this wide. So there you have it. So you have your little base, and they sit on a little cushion, the original Eames lounge chair. You guys can Google it, Eames dining chair, and you can get some inspiration on that. And just kind of visual references. Okay, so good. All right, so let's do these legs, and I think we're going to be calling it a day. So the front legs are much higher, as you can see here. So we're going to go here. And I'm going to not snap. Come here. 3 points when I make a turn. 2, 3. And then come straight. And then let me do another curve for the front. Again, 3 points when I make a turn. I'm going to kind of overshoot it. Let's go offset. Well, before I've offset it, I know these chairs kind of do something funky, these legs. So the sketches for those chairs should be slightly at an angle. So let me pick this guy, come here, let's just kind of do this here. Then I'm just going to overshoot it. The sketch scale doesn't seem to be accurate. Yeah, no, it's going to the back of that. Oh no, it's supposed to be in the front. Alright. So this guy should be in the front, and it should be rotated like that. Maybe just a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to make a copy of that. In this case, I'm going to rotate it back down. The longer you pull away from that arc, the more finer control you have on that rotation. What happened here? Something like that. Okay, again, let's turn off these kind of. So I have these two surfaces that are kind of shooting each other over. So I'm going to loft them again. I hope you guys can follow along. So I've created a little thin surface there that I'm going to trim off later. And we'll do the same to this chair here, or the back legs, if you will. So let me go to this view here, turn on. What happened to that back leg? Why is that all connected? Oh, because I've already made the... Okay. Well, you guys will learn how to edit this too then. Since I must have stretched it out, so I'm gonna pick the edge of that curve, and I'm gonna pull it out further. Actually, I'm gonna pull it out a lot, like that. Different editing technique now. So this try to match the angle of that, right? I'm going to stretch it down since I'm just kind of freestyling it at this point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a line here. Shoot it. Oops. Okay. delete that. So I have a surface with a bunch of lines here, and then I don't think I need that. Where the hell is that line from? Yeah, I don't need that line. Get rid of that. So I just need these lines here. Okay. So again, I'm going to go to trim. Again, this is the most powerful part of Rhino. Cutting objects are going to be this guy, this guy, that guy, and I think that's it. Then I'm going to cut this guy there and trim off all these little pieces here. I think that's it. That should have got us the chair, the leg. And obviously this leg should come below and hit this guy. So I'm just going to go to this view here, kind of bring this down. And technically it should really sit on this angle, so in this case I'm just going to cheat and just change up this angle here. Don't tell anybody. Oh no, that looks horrible. I'm just going to leave it. Most of the time we're not going to see it anyway. Okay, so there you go, guys. So, and then of course you would trim this piece, trim this leg and that leg right down the middle, and then mirror it. Now a couple of things. This surface is 0 thickness. That, and that, they're 0 thickness. I believe we made this 1/2 inch thick. Alright. So we're going to offset this surface. So we're going to go offset surface. Pick that. And you see how the arrow's pointing out, meaning it's going to stick out this way. I'm going to go 1/2 inch. And there you go. Now you have a thick base there. And again, I'm going to go to offset this surface, 1/2 inch. And then this one, offset to the inside 1/2 inch, which is good. We are getting a little pinching here. That's because its radius is too tight, but we're going to deal with that. Now, if we go on the outside, we wouldn't get a pinch, which means that now we do have to bring this down, right? So it was like a worser of the two evil. So you know what? Let's undo that. Let's go back, offset surface. Oops. No. Offset surface, not curves. And then instead of there, we're going to flip, meaning go 1/2 inch to the outside, then you get no pinching on that radius. And then we're going to go back in here again. Then after that, we can just bring this guy down so that it sits under that chair. Bring this guy down. Kind of messed up on that angle, but we'll live with that. I don't feel like. And then I'm going to cut off all the excess legs. Trim. There. And there. So there you go, guys. You got the Eames dining room chair. I think it looks pretty fantastic. Good luck with you guys. We'll see you on the next video.